Welcome back everyone again to LearnCity. In this module and this series, we're going to be looking at in this class LCC, Life Cycle Costing. You know, I told us in previous class that there are different management accounting techniques that are erupting in this modern period. One of them is the life cycle costing technique. Now, what does LCC entails? This entails that the total life cycle cost of a product captures all costs incurred on that product from cradle to grave, or from womb to womb. So, life cycle costing is such that captures, that aggregates, that brings together, that amalgamates, that collates all costs that will be incurred all through the life of a product. Now, when we're talking about the life of a product, they are in stages. They are in process, they are in sequence. Number one stage of the life of a product is the introduction stage to the market. After the introduction stage, we have what we refer to as, the first stage is the research and development stage. Then, after research and development has been finalized and is viable enough, then the product is developed and then introduced. That's the introduction stage to the market. Then after a lapse of time, we have what we refer to as the growth stage. The product begins to grow in the market. Then after some period, the growth of the product reaches a level we call maturity stage. Under the concept of utility in economics, we call this the saturation point, the highest peak or the optimum peak. So at this maturity stage, then the life cycle of the product begins to come down. Then we have what we call the decline stage. And then the last stage is what we call the withdrawal stage. So note them: research and development stage, introduction stage, growth stage, maturity stage, declining stage, and lastly, the withdrawal stage. Now, all these stages of life of the product, at each of these stages, there will be different cost that is specific to all these stages. So, in life cycle costing, all these stages and the cost respectively are aggregated together and captured when making decision about how to cost the product from inception. So that's why we say it's a costing system that aggregates from cost of research and development, plant and equipment, manufacturing cost, product development cost, promotion cost, and all other costs that spans the time lag, the projected time span of the product. So all these costs are aggregated and taken into consideration. This forms the basis of what we call life cycle costing. So I believe you are learning something, you are enjoying the class. Once again, stay tuned and don't be distracted. Lastly, we'll be looking at the modern management accounting techniques, which we refer to as target costing. Target costing is defined as the process whereby new products are to be designed in accordance with the unit prices that the expected potential customers can offer. That seems theoretical. Okay, let's go forward. I'm actually going to explain further for you to understand. Target costing, according to the Chartered Institute of Management Accountants, is simply a product cost estimate derived by subtracting a desired profit margin from a competitive market price. Is a product cost estimate derived by subtracting a desired profit margin from a competitive market price. In other words, target costing is simply a cost estimate that we actually get after we have removed, or we have allowed, or we have provided for our profit margin from the current market price. The history and evolution of target costing goes thus. It is widely used in Japan, and currently now it has been gaining ground in countries like Europe and USA. So the main axiom or honors behind target costing, as the word implies, is a cost that is targeted. You know, there is actually a market price, but for our own firm, we have our level of profit margin. You know, the profit margin that organization A or firm A is expecting will be different from firm B, will be different from firm or company C. So, but when each of these firms have been able to make allowance for their profit margin on the current market price, whatever it gives them, that is the addition of the expected profit plus their cost estimate, their cost of production, we give them a total comprehensive cost, which they will now use as a basis for formulating the price of selling their product. Don't forget, inside this cost, we already have their cost of production. They will have been able to recoup their cost of production. Also, they will also have been able to allow for the profit margin they are expecting. So it gives them a targeted cost, a projected cost. This is the basis of target costing.